Plato and Aristotle, the two towering figures of ancient Greek philosophy. Their ideas laid the foundation for political theory, philosophy, and ethics. But when it comes to shaping modern governance, whose influence is greater? Plato was Aristotle's teacher, and yet the two had strikingly different visions for politics and governance. Plato, born in 427 BCE, believed in the idea of an ideal state governed by philosopher-kings, rulers who have superior knowledge and wisdom. Aristotle, born in 384 BCE, took a more pragmatic approach, focusing on how governments should function in the real world. Plato's most famous political work, The Republic, outlined his vision of a perfectly just society. He believed that the masses were not equipped to govern themselves. Instead, philosopher-kings, who could see beyond the material world and grasp the eternal truths, should rule. According to Plato, such rulers would act not in their own interests, but in the interest of the whole society. Plato's famous allegory of the cave illustrates this. He argued that most people live in a world of shadows, while only the philosopher could see the true forms of justice, goodness, and truth. Aristotle, however, took a different approach. In his work Politics, he rejected the idea of philosopher-kings. Instead, he believed that governance should be based on the collective wisdom and experience of the people. Aristotle famously said, "Man is by nature a political animal," highlighting that humans are inherently social and capable of self-governance. Aristotle classified governments into three good forms: monarchy, aristocracy, and polity, and their corresponding corrupt forms: tyranny, oligarchy, and democracy. His preference was for polity, a mixed form of government that combined elements of oligarchy and democracy to balance the interests of the rich and the poor. Plato's ideas have influenced many political systems, especially those with authoritarian tendencies. His concept of a ruling elite, those who know best, can be seen in various forms of technocracy and meritocracy. Some argue that Plato's vision of a perfect society can also be found in the way some modern leaders justify centralized control for the greater good. Even in modern democratic systems, there are elements of Plato's thought, like the idea that certain experts or technocrats should guide policy in areas like economics, health, and law. Aristotle's influence, however, is much more evident in modern representative democracies. His idea of a polity, where power is shared and balanced, can be seen in constitutional governments that blend democracy with other institutional safeguards. For example, the idea of checks and balances in the US Constitution reflects Aristotle's belief that political power should be distributed to prevent tyranny. Aristotle's trust in the collective wisdom of the citizenry is also foundational to modern democratic systems. In representative democracies today, the notion that governments should be accountable to the people directly reflects Aristotle's belief in governance by citizens, not an elite. So, who shaped modern governance more, Plato or Aristotle? While Plato's vision of philosopher-kings is less prominent in today's democracies, his influence lingers in modern elitist and technocratic systems. Aristotle, on the other hand, directly shaped the development of constitutional governments, rule of law, and democratic participation. Overall, Aristotle's pragmatic, inclusive view of governance has had a greater lasting influence on the structures and principles of modern democracies. However, Plato's ideas still challenge us to think about the role of expertise, knowledge, and wisdom in leadership. In the end, both philosophers offer timeless insights into the nature of governance. As societies continue to evolve, we are still navigating the tension between Plato's idealism and Aristotle's realism. Who do you think offers the best model for the future of governance? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Eclipse of Ideas for more deep dives into political philosophy and modern politics.